So I honestly believe that one of the most amazing creatures of God is the woman. A woman is amazing. A woman is phenomenal. And I cannot, in all honesty, imagine a world without the women. The world without the female gender. Yes, that particular gender. I know you were about to say the gender that ate the apple. Okay, so I know if Eve was here, she would say she's sorry for that singular act, so we can all move on from it. But coming back from that little joke, I think one of the major reasons I studied biology in school is because I wanted to understand a woman, the complexities in a woman. A reason why a man could have just a little cut and little blood, and before you know it, he's gone. And a woman could bleed for 5-7 days every month, and nothing is wrong with her. Instead, she just glows on. I want to understand the amazingness in being able to carry a whole human for such a long period of time. I wanted to understand that and so many things. And yes, I also wanted to understand why sometimes I smile even when there's nothing big happening, and at other times I'm crying even when there's nothing big else happening. See, all of these emotions, all of this wildness, they just make us who we are, which is the reason for this particular segment, being a woman. And I'm on set with an amazing lady. I'll give you a quick story before we begin. This whole place we're working today, I couldn't afford it. But this amazing woman said, let's do it together. Let's bring it down to a level we can all do it so this can come out well. And I give it up for that genuine woman that supports another woman just like that. So allow me to put my hands together. I said, welcome, Anita, Thinktank lady.
Thank you. It's great to be on your show today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's good to see you. I only see you on social media, and you are just as beautiful as you are on there.
Thank you.
I say that because there's a lot of editing out there,
Yeah.
but you just look like what I see in there. And it's amazing that I hadn't seen you or known you, but you just decided to help out like that. Thank you.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Allow me get to meet with you. So I wanted to ask you on phone, who are you and all of that. Just thought, oh, how about we just do it on phone? So I'm about to know her,
Yeah.
just like you're about to.
Okay.
Welcome.
Thank you. So on social media, I'm known as Anita Thinktank lady, but my name is Anita Okime Asukwo. And if I were to consider myself, if I were to put something like a description of myself, I like to say I'm a steady evolving woman, because there's no field of endeavor that I have tried out that I have not, prospered in. Yeah,
Baby.
but in simple terms, I like to say I am a creative woman. I'm a creator. I don't like the mundane, so I like to do things differently. So I don't know how you out there would know me, but I like to consider myself as a creator. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
What has been your most amazing achievement? If you want to write the story of your life, what words would you use to tell it? Let's say you want to tell the story. What words would you love to tell the story of Anita Okime Asukwo?
I like to say Anita is a strong person, strong individual. And over the years, I have learned to conquer my fears. I think while growing up, one of the greatest fears I had was the fear of public speaking. And then, yes, as I got older, I was intentional about conquering that fear. And that's why today you see me speaking at events, you see me organizing events, running events and all that.
And here you are on TV talking to
Sure,
the rest
right
of
now.
the world.
Yeah.
That's
So,
amazing.
yes, I was intentional about it and I went ahead to conquer that fear. But I'm still learning. Every day we learn, but yeah, I think I'm doing good for myself.
I think the day we stop learning is the day we die.
Exactly.
So we keep at it.
True.
Now, I started the series in November 2019.
Okay.
I've had, I think, about 13 women so far that have shared their stories.
Oh, that's phenomenal.
So I would like to know your story.
My story.
Yes. How what your growing up, what was it like?
Okay,
Being a chick, being a babe, and then being a wife, and being a creator.
yeah. So for me, it's not really a grass to grace kind of story. I grew up in a normal setting. My parents are educationists, so it was just a normal childhood. You know, you are quite on stage. You went to school, you went back home, and all that. When I was in school, you could consider me a triangular student. So you go to school, you go to the library, and then you're back home, and all those kind of things. So for me, I like to say it was normal. But the good thing is that I had parents who were exposed enough to train their children. You know, I had the advice of my father. Very importantly, I had his advice. You know, my father would tell us stories of his own childhood. My father is the kind of person you say had the grace to grace kind of, grace to grace kind of story, where he came from a poor background and then he was able to achieve the things he did. So when you have those kind of life lessons, you know, at your fingertips, except you're not a wise individual, you just have to treasure such kind of information. And those are the kinds of advice that was able to, you know, nurture me into the woman I am today. And I'm grateful to have that.
Is there a particular childhood story that's favorite, your kind of favorite one, that if you want to tell to children? You know, we always have that story where mommy says, when I was a child, you know, this kind of story. Something that keeps coming back. Yeah, she remembers. Yes, she remembers.
For now, I wouldn't say there's really anything outstanding. But maybe the fact that earlier on I told my mother that, you know, when parents are concerned about the girl child, you know, they tell you, don't get pregnant, if you get pregnant, this and that will happen. I think for me, I was more of a tomboy. So I had earlier told her that, Mom, yes, I appreciate your advice, but if I want to do those kind of things, it's not about you telling me don't do them. I have already decided within myself that I wasn't going to do those kind of things. But because I already had that exposure of what I wanted to do later on in my life and the kind of life I wanted to lead. So thank you for your advice, but you know, it's me. I am the one to choose what I want for myself and the path I want to take. Yeah.
Nobody
and she
picked
was
you for saying all that.
no, my mother is she's she's an amazing woman. So she understood that, okay, yeah, this particular child opinionated. Okay. Let's see how that goes. So yeah,
that was fine.
Totally.
What was being a single lady like?
Single lady. Most of my single years I spent it in school studying. I used to be a very academic child, you know, yes. I don't know what's happening now, but yes, academic wise, I was top form. So
bookworm.
But I was a bookworm. That's the truth of the matter. I actually graduated first class in marketing. So yes, I was a bookworm. So most of my energies, you know, sometimes you have a goal and you put in that kind of energy.
Yeah.
You're focused on a goal. You just want to make sure that you keep the grades.
Sure that.
And that's it. Did I date in school?
Why should I? Yes,
I have to. I did, but the people I dated were quite respectful, you know. I didn't go about dating the rascals. Yes, they were quite respectful. Yeah, even till today, they respect me. I respect them. You give them their space and all that.
Are there relationship lessons you would want to pass out to the ladies out there?
Yeah.
Maybe such that helped you get the ring and the heart.
Okay.
Of
So,
the man.
ladies out there, know your worth. That's what I'll say to you. I know it will sound cliche, but that's the truth of the matter. A man will value you if you value yourself, right?
What does it mean to value yourself as a woman?
It's an intrinsic kind of thing. You have to know yourself. Clarity is very important. It is people who have clarity, who understand themselves and know that, yes, I am worth the attention. I am worth the investment and the commitment that really, you know, are respected for it. It's the way you address yourself at the end of the day. So if you feel you should be emotionally immature, emotional stability is a big factor. You should be comfortable with your own self. When you are comfortable with your own self, I think every other person will be comfortable around you. So know your worth. Have value for your time. Very importantly. Value for time is very important. I can say that over and over again. So when you're busy, Sometimes when you're busy, when you have your own things going for you, a man will value that. You know, you're not clingy, and you are not overly dependent on a man. Let a man see the value within you, that this one
Can exist,
some, you know,
can be
men
without me.
they actually they want you to need them. So sometimes when I'm not saying don't show a man you don't need them, but we actually need them at some point, because sometimes it gets to that point where you say, I really need help. But don't be just so over dependent on a man. Have your own thing going for you. It's not a bad thing to be independent, to be an independent woman. Yes, feminism, but it's not a bad thing.
Okay.
Totality.
So, explain your being a woman story. How have you enjoyed being a woman? If you had to do this again, would you do it a woman, or would you like to come back a guy?
101% a woman.
And I'll give you a short story. So my other sister is a medical professional.
Okay.
Sometimes I had to witness childbearing.
Wow.
I started saying, you know,
should I run away from it? Should I? Hey God, the pain and everything.
There was this lady that had it really, really rough.
Oh, wow.
He made me start thinking, babe, you really want to do this?
But then the funny thing is, when the child comes, all the pain just goes away. I think it's one of the things that make us super women or superhuman.
Yes.
Yes. The fact that we can go through that process, and then when the child is birthed, it's the smile alone. It's heavenly. So, would I want to come back as a woman? 101%. There are so many. A lot of people might not agree, but I feel it's a woman's world, though. I actually do.
Why do you feel
because there are so many reasons. A woman, by nature, we have more instincts than men. We have this gut feeling, intuition, they call it. We are blessed with
gut
that.
feeling. That
Yes, this thing might work, it might not work. And for women who go into business, that's one of the, I see, for people in business, forget the fancy boardroom discussions. At the end of the day, when it comes to making a strategic decision, it's still gut feeling that the CEO of a business has to, at the end of the day. So for a woman, for her to have that natural, because men, to have intuition or to have that feeling of having instincts and all those things, they have to focus. That's why you see some men are so, they have to so they don't miss it. But us, it comes to us naturally. That's why we can perceive a room. We can read emotions. We know when something is about to go wrong. We read emotions. We read the room, right? Easily for women. So intuition is a gift. And I wouldn't trade that for anything. So most of the business decisions I've made are based off of instincts. Yes. I can tell you 9 out of 10. There are so many opportunities that have come to me, and I'm like, my mind is not telling me to go. It's not spiritual. My mind is not telling me to go for it. At the end of the day, those things fail. It's like magic. So intuition is one of them. Yeah.
And you think it's a thing for the woman?
Yes, a woman. She has that heavily. Another thing would be, they say multitasking. Yeah, we can easily multitask. A woman can be a wife, a mother, a career woman. But a man, if you just leave him, say he has, say it's a public holiday, and then you leave a man who has a task to complete from the office, you leave him with a baby, and then you just go out. We'll probably give you 3 children. And then you go out.
Disaster waiting to happen.
By the time you come back, the man will be, oh no, it's a disaster for him. I think Timmy Dakolo did that, one of his songs and all that. It's a disaster for him. And so, multitasking is a skill. It's a superhuman skill not everyone has. So it's beautiful to say the woman has that. And then the fact that we can get passes. There are so many tough, even in the army, the women in the army, I always feel that there are some tough kind of combats that they don't allow the women to go for, because it's a woman. In as much as yes, there are hindrances by society placed on women. We don't get better pay, we don't get a lot of opportunities, but still I think African culture still kind of protects the woman some way.
Does it?
I think so. Sometimes I think so. It is in protecting the women that they feel they shouldn't do certain kind of jobs. That's what I feel. But, well, now we know better. But That's what I feel. And so, for instance, you could go to, I think we get free passes for some things. So, free passes. For instance, we could go to a banking hall and there's a long queue. And just because a girl is beautiful, she can be given to pass the line. But if a man tries it, he will stay there 2 hours. Nobody's looking at his face. Those are some of the things. So, and then free lunches sometimes, not because of anything.
Yeah.
I think I've eaten 1 or 2 free lunches, not because of anything.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think men actually give fellow men free lunches. I think you should go and hustle for your lunch. Because so it's tough for the men, honestly. I sometimes
the guys behind the camera.
I sometimes pity them. It's tough for them.
I think our ladies are taking it up and caring for them, specially buying them the free lunch.
You mean the ladies? Yeah,
No,
some women do that. But
so I think things are balancing up gradually.
Yeah, because women are becoming more aware that they have the power.
And they can also do that.
So.
Yeah, I saw a post the other day when a guy was saying, when a guy was, he made a post asking how much was the highest price a guy had gotten from a girl. So I read the comments and I was amazed that even guys were confessing to receiving 150, 300,000, 1 point something million from women. And I'm like, hey, ladies.
Yeah, because right now women are earning.
Yeah, and
unlike
so they
in the
can
past,
also
they
give
can,
up.
they can also.
All right. Okay, so let's bring this conversation to your checklist before choosing a husband.
Yeah.
What was it like? What were you looking out for?
I remember when I was getting married, I think I wrote my engagement story on social media and I think trended for a few days. Though, at the end of the day, some people were bashing me and all that, but it's fine.
Why was it?
You know, I said something about how I found my husband. I didn't
You want to
really,
say it quickly? Babe,
quickly,
yes.
It was something I didn't really, it didn't have the physical spec that I thought of. Maybe someone tall and everything. My husband is just, is my husband. So,
see, don't make us end the show here. So don't let Mr. Bucky may now come and say, Mr. Basti.
It's like that, and I love the whole of him. But like then, probably I wasn't wise, and so you know, at the end of the day, I didn't really rate him. Like he wasn't my friend or anything. And I went into his inbox to actually tell him that because he was contesting and he was quite young. So to me, I just looked at his poster and I was like, this guy won't win the election. And those people were there cheering him on. So I was like, guy, forget those people are psychophants. And then he felt that, someone came out honestly to tell him the truth. Okay. So that's how we started chatting back and forth and all that.
Oh, for so you guys met on social media?
Yes, on Facebook actually.
Hello, Mark
so
Zuckerberg.
Yes,
you should do a mass wedding.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for me,
you're not done with the story. What's that?
So that's how we became friends. And then I actually found out that the guy has a good head on his shoulder. Actually, my husband is very wise for his age. He's very wise. Like, it was amazing. I think I'm wise, but I found someone that's wiser than I am, and he's a go-getter.
Okay.
Yes, he knows what he wants, and.
So this was him abusing your checklist because you wanted tall, dark,
yeah, tall,
that kind of thing.
dark, those kind of things. That
the novel kind of.
Yeah, exactly the novel kind of men, chiseled arms and all those things. Like you read Miles and Bones or Mills and Bones, and then you imagine things.
Yeah.
Well, reality is not the same thing. So yeah.
So what are you saying? That my checklist I should go out through?
Forget. The physical aspect is good, very good in marriage, yes. Very, because you get to spend the rest of your life. So you don't look outside and say, oh, this person looks better than me. No, don't do that to yourself. But the person you get married to has to have, people say God-fearing. What does it mean to be God-fearing, actually?
That's that big.
Becoming so God-fearing, But I think the person should be able to respect you. Respect in marriage is very important. You should be able to respect you. What's the meaning of a man respecting you? Could you put some examples to that? What would he do? What would he not do if he respects you? Like he puts your own feelings into consideration. So people don't do that. When he wants to make decisions, very vital decisions, he knows that his wife should have an input to that. A lot of men don't do that. I'm a man, and so I'm the one to take the decision.
I like how you're doing there, I'm a man.
But then when you put a woman's, you know that you honor her, right? You know that she's worth investing her sense into.
Are you
your
not
own
supposed to
decision
be
and all
sensible for a man
Mhm.
to take you
Exactly.
serious?
So
Okay.
yeah, you should respect you and you should I used to say you should pity, not pity. I don't know the word. You should empathize with you. That's it.
Okay.
Empathy. Because a lot of women complain to the fact that men don't help out with chores. You know. But if you marry someone who actually doesn't see it as a big deal,
Yeah.
to actually help out, man, you enjoy the marriage, honestly. Like, especially if you're not someone that wants to have mates or you don't have mates. You otherwise you see, house chores doesn't finish. You end up wasting your time, and time is very important. So when you spend half of your life doing chores, your time is just. But then you have a man. It should be a partnership. You have a man who is ready to help out with those things. It's not a big deal. That's why I brought up pity, but it's not pity. Empathy. Puts himself in your shoes, or sympathy and empathy, whatever. Puts himself in your place and says, okay, my wife should have time for other things. Let me help out with this. So when the babies come, it's going to be hectic. Imagine that a baby wakes up at 3 a.m. and you are supposed to be sleeping. Your husband says, Madam, carry this child. It's your child. Whereas if a man empathizes with you, you know, he helps out. You know that the wife has to rest. It's also his child. So yeah, those are the kind of things. And then someone who knows that it's a responsibility to take care of his family, whether it's you or someone that.
There's a man that doesn't know that.
Some people don't do that. Some people don't know that. You know, yes, women are taking up roles. Women are working. But don't ever forget that you are the head of the family, so you have those responsibilities.
That means responsibility.
No matter the amount of westernization or exposure we have African values at the end of the day. And one of them is the fact that the man is the head of the family. He should take care of his family. The Bible says something about that. I think it was an infidel.
Yes.
Don't be worse than an infidel. You need to be able to take care of your family.
So
So those are the things in the... I do.
Okay, awesome. So let's talk about the value-added woman before we bring this home for today. We'll do this again another time.
Okay.
So what would you say is a value-added woman? When is a woman an asset, not a liability? When is a woman a real helpmate?
It's just a repetition of what I said before, you know. Value has to do with things that have worth, you know. So a value-added woman is just like Bible again. Proverbs 31, I think, woman of ruby woman and all that, you know. The Bible stipulates the virtuous woman. The Bible stipulates those things that she does, you know. And that is a value-added woman. A woman who, you know, brings her own to the table, right?
Thank you. Every time we come on the show, we do this little ritual. Are you scared? Did you used to play truth and dare?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I did.
All right.
I wasn't that...
Okay, that uptight. You used to play small. Oh yeah, pick one. Dumbo last. And
so it says, say I love you without using the word I love you.
hey, she's constructing.
Hey,
booking me.
Yeah, so to say I love you
without using the words I love you.
Why is it tough? It's not tough.
It's not tough.
It shouldn't be tough
at all. Expo, you want?
I love you without it will be God bless you.
Give me a break. Hey.
No, God bless you from the heart.
That's I love
everything.
you.
That's my own. I love you. God bless you. Thank you. Yes, that's my own. Thank you for everything. Thank you for you. That is it. For being you. For everything. Yeah.
It has finished like that.
Yes, so we don't talk too much.
Ah.
So even just winking could be I love you.
Oh yeah, wink now. Listen.
I don't wink. Well, I'm just saying.
Okay, I'm actually supposed to play with you.
Okay.
What is on your mind?
Okay.
Simple.
That one is simple.
Honestly speaking, as I sit here, I'm thinking of fisherman soup.
Can you imagine? Food.
I just want to end it. A sinful plate of fisherman soup with prawns inside.
Is there a good place to cook that thing?
Yes, there is. Yes, we should go there. Or maybe I should call DJ Ritzy.
Oh yeah, I know she does.
I think she advertised for prawns. Yes. So I could go to this market down Waniba Road, get some fish.
Experience.
Yes. The okra they used to, they bring it fresh from the farm.
From the farm, yeah.
Yes, and so it's fresh.
Sure.
So you don't have to
I don't want to be in that mood.
What now?
I want to be in work food. No, I'm not going to think about food at this time.
That is what was on my mind. Thank you for being on the show.